Hi all of you, my name is YuhanDing. Today I want to show what I've done in Unit 2. Without further ado, let's go. As you can see, the left one pictures was my inspiration. There were a lot of pigeons in the park, but a pair of pigeons caught my attention because the gray pigeon is only chasing the white one. Makes me wonder what kind of relationship they have hiding underneath. There's a video. It's quite interesting. There's loads of pigeons in the park, but that gray one is only chasing that white one. So I thought about how I could visually represent such a relationship with many variations and possibilities. So I designed a box like this. Here's my concept, and I just want to show it the concept in these pictures. The box idea based on the Schrödinger's cat, I think it can be an interactive installation. There are two kinds of pigeons, white and gray. Um, so the gray one is the only one in white color, and it is flexible. You can see it, and other gray color pigeons are fixed on the box, but it also can turn in 360 degrees in itself. The box background is black, but in after that I changed the colors, all of the just in the white colors. So each time when the audience opens the box, will get a totally different outcome due to your different choice when you shake the box. You can create various results, like in all kinds of parallel words according to your manipulation, those pigeon situation or relationship can be defined. And each time when you open it, it cannot be the same. They may have many combos, different status, chasing or repelling each other, even the bullying, the whole or the part, etc. And in the process of making it, I initially used a wire iron built into the interior so that it could rotate it on its own, like this. But it was not very smooth. And after that, at the tutor's suggestion, I tried magnets, which did create more interesting possibilities, and I changed the shape be more streamlined. In the end, I made a simple but useless instructions and modeled several possible relationships. Before making the box, I thought it would be a simple manual modeling operation, but in the actual project, I always encounter various small problems, such as the magnets would jump out and tie together if the bottom was not sealed. Even in the end, I couldn't find a way to get the audience to use the box as I had conceived, and I think I need to think about more details. For example, the arrangement of the positive and negative poles needs to be precise for each individual pieces, rather than being installed without thinking, which could of course be interpreted as a random effect, but it's still a bit short of what I expected. And there's the next project. It's a pictures books named Just Talk. Initially, it was a news story about elderly people using in the inconvenience of smartphones, cause them just really inconvenient in their daily life. I remember in the COVID pandemic, in that span of time, many old people, if they cannot show the code, they can't on the public transportation or even in the shop mall like that. It's quite a sad things for me. So I wanted to do something that would help them or urge people to give more care and help to the elderly as a vulnerable group. And at the same time, I also dabbled with the question of what invisible rules limited in their choices and lives in the eyes of the elderly or ordinary people. I did a lot of interviews with my grandmother, who is the closest person to me, as well as the hospital for the elderly. And I want to hear more about her thoughts and opinions. After doing a lot of research, especially based on a lot of news effect, I initially want to use poster with some slogan format to express it. But I found that presentation or the information I want to convey it's very pale and feel that format didn't um, adequate to convey the message I want it very well. So after some discussion, I decided to use a then format to create some short stories about the dilemmas of the elderly. I started with a mock-up about my grandmother's use of the smartphone, and I was able to draw more details about the social issues from the smallest details because I know my grandmother very well. Instead of just talking about the social issues, the area's too big. I want just narrate. But after doing so many interactive interviews with my grandmother, I came up with the final story ideas about how I didn't want to face the fact that my grandma would one day leave me. Although the story is very personal and about me and my grandmother, I think that facing the fact that the people closest to us may one day leave us is something that happens to everyone. And I think that is a story may be able to bring out some feelings in you, and I hope that you will find some resonance in my story. In fact, I was torn between the first thing version and the reworked version, like that pictures books. In that format, you can see I just changed a lot of time, modifying a lot of details. But I think the first version contained more emotion. But I really learned a lot about layout and typography in the later versions, and it was very helpful learning process for me. And I do appreciate to everyone who helped me. This part is about the progression plan because I was drawing picture books on this topic of facing death. I became curious about the other word after death. There are different concepts and descriptions of the word after death, of hell, in the East and the West, and I hope to do some research on hell or ghosts. Sandra Botticelli, painting of the Inferno for Dante's Divine Comedy. The conceptual drawing of the hell from the Western perspective fascinates me with the idea of an untouchable other world. This is a great construction with so many awesome details. Another Japanese artist, Yoshitaka Amano, has a couple of works that I like for their use of colors really strong, appealing, charming, and they're very spiritual figures. The overall atmosphere is full of the contradictory feelings of fairy and devil, but the overall atmosphere is very mysterious. I want my images to have this sense of vibe. Lastly, is a sketch of the Bible story by Simon Besley. I like his depiction of the scenes. It has a great sense of the space and atmosphere, and that is a good reference for exploring sense of the hell. That's all. Thank you.